Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak this for my purification. So I'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hiya Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nand Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय शिला गुरुदेव हिज होलीनेस प्रभुपादा स्वामी महाराज की जय. Okay, so I'll share my screen. I have a presentation. So I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, you can go on slideshow so we can see.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So yesterday, Taruni Radha Mataji very nicely discussed about envy, what is the difference between envy and jealousy, and how envy is blocking us, and tips to overcome it. So today I'll talk about the 4 stages of envy. So how basically this disease manifests in our heart. So it is very important to know that, because it's like a cancer. Initial stages, if you can control it, you can bring it down. So in the beginning, you can catch, so it is easy. So basically, I'll speak from the verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 29th chapter. And so there are the 4 stages. First is avagya, second is upeksha, third is dvesha, and fourth is avmani or ninda. So we'll go one by one. So uh, avagya basically means uh, to look somebody from little above, that with a little pride, that I am better than somebody, and then very quickly our mind starts giving us reasons why I'm better, because I am beautiful, I am knowledgeable, I am chanting more rounds. So we look down somebody with compassion, or poor fellow. So Lord Kapil Dev says in third canto that this third canto, 29th chapter, 21st verse, अहम सर्वेषु भूतेषु भूतात्मा वसिष्ठ सदा तमवज्ञा मां मर्तयः कुरुते अर्च विडम्बनम्. Sorry. So the translation goes that I am present in every living entity as the super soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. So, here, basically, this chapter, Kapil Dev is speaking to his mother Devahuti about the devotional service, and Kapil Dev says that somebody who is worshipping me, and he does not appreciate that I am in the heart of every living entity and does not respect them. So then. This is simply imitation. So I'll talk about this a little bit later. So in this regard, I want to tell a story. So once there was a man who was from Bengal, and he came to Braj, and he was very knowledgeable, very good family background, whole life studying scriptures and doing devotional service. So when he retired, he decided to devote his life to for devotional service and serving spiritual master. So he went to one elevated devotee in Braj, and he begged him again and again for initiation, but this but the guru, so he realized that he has a slight disease of pride in his heart. He has given up everything, and he is proud of that. So ultimately, Guru told him, "I'll give you initiation in one condition: if you find somebody who is lower than you in all respects. So if you bring that person or something, so then I'll give you initiation." So I thought, yeah, it's a easy thing for me. So he went to many places. He went to sweeper community, and there he thought, oh, these sweepers are actually lower in all respects than me. But then he thought, oh my God, whole life they are living in Braj, and they are serving Braj Bhumi. How can they be lower than me? Then he went to different places. He was comparing himself with many others, and finally he then went to Goshala. There he saw cows. He thought cows can be lower than me. But then he was again contemplated, how can these cows be lower than me, because they are giving the milk and serving Lord in Braj. So I have to find somebody else. So 1 week he was engaged in this intense meditation. He tried to compare people with him, and somehow, with the mercy of Guru and Krishna, he found that everybody is better than me in all respect. So ultimately, he goes to nature call, and if he finds then he finds his stool is lower. Then he thought it's not nice to bring stool to Guru, and then he saw worm in the stool. So he thought, okay, this worm may be um, lower than me. But then he again contemplated, and he thought, oh, this tool is my own creation, and by eating prasad only, I was able to do this. And then he thought no. So finally, he went to his guru and he said, I am sorry, I was not able to find anybody who is lower than me. So then his Guru Maharaj accepted him when he saw this kind of attitude. So Kapil Dev in this verse says Vidambanam. So he says it may be Japa Vidambanam, it may be Kirtan Vidambanam, or anything. So Srila Prabhupada translates it as pretense. So Kapil Dev says that basically this is the result of innocent arrogance for ourselves. It may seem to be innocent that I don't do bad, I'm not doing bad to others. So, so, but if pride and these things grow in the heart, so result of such attitude is the pretense, it grows more and more. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that, so because of this slightly offensive attitude, our devotional service becomes basically sankuchita. It means Bhakti Devi withdraws its potency. And so, and it does not manifest with full potency in our heart, because of the offense. It blocks the power of our devotional service. So Archa Vidambanam means when one performs devotional service with this attitude of hypocrisy, pretense in the heart, and when one don't get reciprocation from outside, from the Lord. So So in order to get some satisfaction in devotional service, we become more and more proud, and I am doing this devotional service and find satisfaction in that. So in this way, we perform devotional service not for the sake of devotional service, but for others will say this is such nice devotee, and basically to get validations from others. So, and more pretense is there, more hypocrisy in the heart will grow, and the root cause of this is basically avagya. Avagya means ignorance. So this disrespectful attitude towards other is the first stage. So basically, basically Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice advice that your devotee should try to understand everything in relation with Krishna. So what Srila Prabhupada means that when we see someone is lower than us, then immediately we should catch us. That immediately we should see the connection of this person with Krishna. And if he is connected to Krishna, then how can be he lower than me? And and catching ourselves and then connecting it to Krishna. So now second stage is upeksha. So this next verse, it says, translation, one who worships the deity of Godhead in temple but does not know that the Supreme Lord as Paramatma is situated in every living entity's heart must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. So this is the next verse. So here in the verse, the word is hitvacharam. So basically, the second stage is called upeksha because at this stage, the disease of pride, because of this disease of pride, little envy comes in the heart. So upeksha means when envy becomes stronger in your heart and you cannot associate with this person and you cannot be pleasant to this person, and in the heart, you harbor the attitude that I am better than him, and then envy becomes stronger, and just you want to avoid the person, you don't want to see his face and want to go in different direction. So this is next. Okay. And we start feeling that this devotee is a pretender, and basically it's us who is pretending, basically, because uh, consciously we are just trying to justify ourselves that the other person is not good, and still Lord is reciprocating with him, and so, and in this verse, the last line is Bhasmanya eva juhoti saha. So it so here Lord Kapil Dev is saying that it's like comparing to pouring ashes or butter, pouring butter in the ashes. So basically, you will not get any result. And if you have such attitude in your devotional service, then so it's basically all being wasted. So third stage, so third stage is the next verse. So in this stage, I'll first read the translation. One who offers me respect but is envious of bodies of others and is therefore a separatist never attains peace of mind because of his inimical behavior towards other living entities. So I was hearing in a lecture that the second stage, which we heard, Upeksha, So Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj was saying that a person was worshipping Shaligram Shila for many years, and but because he was having some envy in the heart, and he went to Maharaj and he said that Maharaj, this devotional service is not working. I am doing deity worship and still I'm not getting any reciprocation from the Lord. So Maharaj was saying this is because of the that attitude and the offensive mentality. So this third stage is dvesha. So like I told in the beginning that these stages are like cancer, can be compared to stages of cancer. Initially, if you catch it, it's easy to bring down. But as it grows, as cancer spreads in whole body, it is very difficult to control. So this third stage is called dvesha. And so here Kapil Dev says that if somebody is really envious or hateful towards others, uh, it means if somebody actively hates. So in the first stage, you slightly you were feeling superior and looking down, and second stage you don't want to see the person, and third stage is you are actively hating somebody. That it means that you want that something bad should happen to that person, and you basically pray to Lord to make him realize, oh Krishna, make him realize that he is not a good devotee, and what he has done to me, he should suffer. So basically in third stage, you don't want good for that person. So I was listening in one lecture that very senior devotee, he fell down and he left ISKCON, and then there was some court case on ISKCON, and then all over the internet he was saying that Krishna has punished ISKCON because they have offended me, etc., etc. So this is basically active dvesha, that you want that something bad should happen to that person, and your prayers to Krishna are also like that person should suffer, because that person should get some suffering, and he should realize. So here, uh, in this translation, it is saying that Lord says that such a person is a separatist, and he will therefore a separatist never attains peace of mind. So he will never find peace of mind. So if somebody inflicts some pain, and then we develop some hate towards them, so even though we are chanting also, our mind is occupied by, mind is totally agitated, and there is so much noise in the mind, and there is no peace at all, even though we are chanting, because that hatred is there. And that hatred, when it becomes hatred, so it is practically impossible to control. So in the first stage and the second stage, you can control by a conscious endeavor. No, no, something is wrong, he's a devotee, he's serving nicely, but at this stage, it's basically almost difficult to control, and that's why Lord says that you will never get peace, even though. So you perform devotional service and you think about Krishna, and still you will be totally disturbed. So, okay. So then comes the fourth stage. So this fourth stage is basically worse than hatred. So when we manifest hatred, so basically it is visible in form of, it manifests in form of ninda or blasphemy, and or insulting a devotee. So hatred, basically hatred may be there in, hatred is there in the heart, but it may not have manifested actively. But when it comes to ninda, finally it means hatred comes out of heart in form of ninda. And then we feel I am right and I have all the reasons to say this and I am saying the truth. So Lord Kapila says, this is the next verse. So Lord Kapila says, my dear mother, even if he worships with proper rituals and paraphernalia, a person who is ignorant of my presence in all living entities never pleases me by the worship of my deities. I'm not able to do it. Okay. Worship of my deities in the temple. So basically, this is 24th verse, 3:29-24. And in this verse, Lord says that I am never pleased and I completely turn my face from him. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that if somebody blasphemes a devotee, it is a worse kind of violence. And Prabhupada writes in the purport as Jeev Himsa. So we may feel what is wrong, but 11th canto, uh, there is a verse that says that if you shoot an arrow to somebody, the pain may last for 2-3 days or maybe a week. But if you shoot the arrows of insulting words, that pain you caused will be with the living entity for years and years, and he will remember the pain which you have inflicted to him. And in that verse, he says that arrows of insulting words is much worse than real arrows. And we know that how, like Draupadi, she laughed at Duryodhana, and because of this, war broke. And so basically, in 10th canto, it comes that Maharaj Yudhishthir was trying to stop Draupadi, but because it was encouraged by Krishna, it was the will of Krishna. So otherwise, Draupadi is a pure devotee, very elevated consciousness. So a pure devotee never offends anybody. It was just by will of Krishna, by arrangement of Krishna, that this was one of the reasons that whole Mahabharat war broke out. So, and so And because of his ignorance at this stage, he will basically justify the blasphemy, uh, that uh, and that I am right and I am saying this because that person is that, he deserves that, etc., etc. And ignorance is the root cause of all anarthas, which means that uh, because of ignorance, we have my Guru Maharaj says, because of ignorance, we have ignorant desires, and which stands between us and the Supreme Lord as the impediment. So basically, in one of the session, I talked about devotional service in modes of nature. So in that session, I talked about how there are 81 types of bhakti. So here in this verse, 10th verse, Srila Prabhupada is saying that there are different devotional activities, 9 processes of bhakti and 3 modes of nature, and 3 multiplied by 9 equals 27. And when again multiplied by 3, it becomes 81. So this 3 is, I basically explained in that session that this three is basically, again, within these three modes, there are three divisions. So in ignorance, uh, bhakti is performed with envy and anger, and second is it's performed with pride and ego, and third category is it is performed with violence towards other living entities. So basically, this verse 329.8, it talks about this thing. Abhisandhaya yo himsam dambham matsaryam eva va samarambhi bhinna dhrigbhavam mai kuryatsa tamasaha. So, so when there is envy in heart, there is basically hatred towards others. So there is anger. So in this verse, so Kapil Dev says that this type of bhakti is basically bhakti performed in mode of ignorance. Himsam, dambham, matsaryam. Devotional service executed by person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, and who is a separatist is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Yeah. So basically, when when we are aware of what's going on in our heart, and we are able to catch ourselves, and we are able to figure out so it we are aware of it, so it becomes easy for us to not to do offensive. Otherwise, we go in a different direction. We can go in a victim mentality, blaming others. We become envious, and so and there can be many different tendencies in our heart, which are basically not favorable for our bhakti. So then, because of that, the devotional potency of devotional service is withdrawn from the heart, and so the devotee doesn't feel that satisfaction, bliss, and joy in heart. And then, in order to feel that satisfaction, bliss, he goes externally. He may be doing more and more service, but if we contemplate, that's why it's saying that's why it said that we should chanting we should always do chanting with contemplation, with basically, so that we are aware of our anarthas, because there may be many anarthas which are blocking the potency of bhakti, and we may not realize, and there are issues inside us, and we are just pointing, blaming others, and maybe projecting on others. So if we deal with our anarthas, look at those issues, and then if we catch ourselves, then basically we are able to, if we are aware, so we are able to address them, and it is very pleasing to Lord, because the Lord can see our struggles, and he, because if we accept, then only we can ask for help. So when we accept, yes, I am at this level, I have these tendencies, I'm struggling with these, and then we, with that mood, basically helps to become humble. And with that humble mood, when we pray to Lord, surrender to Lord, so Lord is pleased, and he gives us realizations, his mercy, and we are able to overcome our tendencies. We are able to look at that, we are able to address them. So I think today I will stop here only, stop sharing.
That was
And
excellent, Nitya Kishori Mataji. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Mataji.
This topic, so it is really, really very, very helpful for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear Nitya Kishori Mataji. Yeah, this is an eye opener on the different stages, and we may now realize it, and thank you for pointing out examples and giving us references to Bhagavatam also.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the
Thank-
presentation. Um, I had a question. Is it okay to
Yeah.
ask?
Yes, sure,
Um,
Mataji.
so my question was, see, when you're encountering somebody, um, a devotee in the temple whose behavior is continuously disturbing you, agitating you, and if you
Mhm.
don't have the humility or the purification yet to keep on tolerating, and if it goes on for many years, and it has become extremely um, agitating, you can't focus, there's a chance of argument, there's a chance of fight, then what's the right thing to do? Because you cannot,
Mhm.
even avoiding a Vaishnava, not seeing him is an offense, right? But at the same time, the situation has become so toxic that
Yeah.
you can't handle it either ways. Then how? Because then as a devotee, you have two problems. You know you're committing an offense, and you also know that it's bothering you and it's distracting you from devotional service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for your question. It's a really good question. So I will share my understanding. So, yeah, there can be many situations, and sometimes because we all are struggling in this material world and nobody is perfect. So, what I think is that instead of having that hatred, we can have our own boundaries. It's okay to have boundaries. We don't have to go and embrace a tiger, but we can have our own boundaries. We can pray to Krishna that give us strength and intelligence to how to look at this situation, how to deal with the devotees if behavior is up and down. So how to deal with them. We can have our boundaries, our own
Mhm.
boundaries, and still we can pray to Krishna. We can talk to some senior devotees to get guidance. To sometimes we don't know the whole picture. We are looking at our from our own perspective only. So we can pray to Krishna. Even we can, best thing is to pray for them also.
Mhm.
Because it takes a lot of courage to pray for others. I'm sorry. It takes a lot of courage to pray for others, because when we are praying for others, it means that we have a desire that even though I have some not so good feelings for them in their heart, but Krishna, I don't want to have
Mhm.
these feelings. I don't want to carry on with these feelings for them. So best is pray for yourself, pray for them, and have your own boundaries. And we don't have to just like I told, we don't have to embrace our tiger. We can
Mhm.
set our own boundaries. And just it point my point is that on seeing them, it's not good to have hatred feelings, because it will definitely not take us anywhere. And we can
Mhm.
see that it's hand of Krishna only, that this situation has come to me because Krishna wants me to learn something from them. And in this situation, so we can pray to Krishna for the intelligence and to give me my lessons. What do you want me to learn? Maybe Krishna has some plans for some purification, and we can pray to Krishna. We can ask them strength to please uh, give us intelligence and capacity to deal with them. Still we can, it's okay if we like have boundaries, and it's okay if we don't want to eat with them, if we don't want to talk with them for some time. But at least the hatred part,
Mhm.
we should accept, yes, I have hatred. And with that with by praying to Krishna, praying for yourself and praying to them, I think it will help, Mataji. It is my
Okay.
understanding.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That really helps.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So next time I can speak about this bhakti in mode of ignorance. So I thought it will take a lot of time. So I want to stop here. I stopped at this only. So this, how this envy, violence. So I'll elaborate with examples, and I can speak more next time on this. envy and ignorance, bhakti in mode of ignorance. So basically, bhakti is not in mode of ignorance, but it's our tendencies, and not everybody, not that one person is always in ignorance. So sometimes it's mixed ignorance and passion, and someone's passion can be more close to goodness, someone's passion can be more close to ignorance. So it's like shades of gray. So next time I will speak more about that.
Thank you,
So I
Mataji.
think that, yeah. So I think Radha Govinda Mataji, we can stop here.
Okay, I just wanted to say that when presented in a technical way, the stages of envy, it's so much easier to deal with it or look at it like from far. When it's all emotional, when when the emotions take over, it all feels like, no, I have no other option. But when actually the way you presented, when we look at it from the technical perspective, where, oh, these are the stages, oh, this is when so it gives much more possibility of dealing with it in a non-sentimental way, I was thinking.
Thank you, Mataji. All glories to Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. I just listened to him and just shared. That's it.
Jai, thank you so much for doing this research and
Yeah.
offering the service to all of us. Hari Bol, let us all give a heart to Nitya Kishori for preparing this wonderful presentation and presenting it from her heart. Not so much from the heart, but also from the brain. Combination. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Beautiful class.